Hi, Arayah here. So nice to be here with you on this beautiful Tuesday, the day after the eclipse. I just wanted to share my personal experience with our journey. We journeyed with a group of 12 beautiful women that are part of my money/abundance consciousness rescripting circle. So this is a place where we come together. We come together online and energetically in the New Earth, and the New Earth Temple of LoveLight, to be precise. And we go into meditation and gather consciously to work on our patterns that are polarized and that might be still in the way of us um, being and feeling and creating from a place of abundance. And as we are progressing through this, we actually find that it's so much more than we thought it was going to be about. It's so much more than just about money, in the way that we realize that our abundance is intrinsically connected to our light embodiment. So however we perceive ourselves, how big we perceive ourselves in terms of our lineage light that is actually embodied through our physical being, to that extent we can create, and to that extent we are open to receive and to give and to work consciously. So we've been doing this now for a few months and aiming to finish around the Taurus 5-5 portal. And it's actually creating amazing changes within each of us personally, but also it reverberates through our lineages, our light lineages, as well as our bloodlines, our ancestry. So there's this big work that we're doing. And so just wanted to tell you specifically with regards to the last full moon. So the one that we had yesterday, the Libra full moon, and she was also eclipsed. And we had our sun in Aries, so we experienced that fiery energy as well as the balance. So for this this full moon, I created this template. So I'm just showing you what that looks like. And just moving out of the way a little bit so you can have a look. And I just wasn't quite sure what that was going to be about. I realized it had lots of flowers and ancient English cottage garden feel to it. Yeah, and quite a royal feel. We've got the Vesica Pisces, so we've got the two energies coming in of male and female. But I wasn't sure, but as usual, we just journey with it and see what happens. I did have a few nights prior to this gathering. I had an invitation coming in during sleep time, saying, "Would you like to sit at the table with your Sophia Christ light, or would you like to dine with Sophia?" This was actually an invitation that I couldn't quite place. But then we ended up journeying into New Earth, into her sacred heart space, and into what we call the New Earth paradigm, or the New Earth Temple of LoveLight. And after we had an amazing clearing, working with the silver, gold, and violet flame, we actually moved with our consciousness into a huge, open space, cave-like complex with lots of light and crystals, and it was very, very massive dining halls is the best way I can explain it. And what greeted us there was the welcoming sight of all of the rays, all of the lineages of the Christ light, sitting at massive tables. And we were each invited to take part in our light pools celebration, our lineage light celebration, and it's just an absolute beautiful honor to be part of that. And an amazing shift within our physical bodies at the same time. Now, I did a beautiful session this morning with an amazing young man, and I realized that part of the effects of what we have anchored collectively over the full moon, over the eclipsed moon, is for the divine masculine part within us, within men in particular, to really be able to now access and integrate his divine feminine, which is a really, really big step. What does this mean concretely? The new codes, the Christ codes, have re-established on this planet. Practically speaking, that means that all of us who are now aligned to the new Earth, all of us who are now anchored in the new Earth paradigm, our energies cannot be tampered with anymore. So all the false archons, the false sisterhood, the false brotherhood, all of that, when we are fully in our light column, fully anchored to new Earth, they are no longer available to the polarized world that is falling away and that is crumbling. So it means that both the divine feminine and the divine masculine, as well as the unified integration of that, it has been anchored now. So we have our full monadic light for each lineage anchored on Gaia, and that makes me quite emotional, because I'm so proud of all of us, so incredibly in awe with everything that we've been through. Each and every one of us has done our part for anchoring this new paradigm, and not just in this lifetime, but through many, many lifetimes of keeping the codes. Sometimes we had to go into hiding, we had to keep it to ourselves. Many lifetimes we were not able to speak openly about what we held in our hearts and what we knew. And now this is here again, and it's anchored, and the diamond crystalline codes are anchored within the crystalline grid of our planet. So, like I said, practically speaking, it means that we have a full, what's the word? Full allowance, full access to our higher light codes and our lineage light pools. We can call in our, not only our master selves, but our unified twin ray or monadic self, also called the God self. It also, practically speaking, means that everywhere where we have invested ourselves into false paradigms in order to fill that void, the void of oneness that we all long for within us, we are going to see that coming up. And as it comes up, it will be in terms of anything that is no longer in alignment with that oneness consciousness. So relationships that are depending on one another, we need to reestablish our male-female polarities within ourselves. Things like workaholic, other ways that we might give our power away in terms of food or substance abuse or any other patterns that are unhealthy, basically. They will come up for all of us. And this is not to make it hard or to punish us or anything like that. It is just because we're reestablishing a higher vibrational paradigm on this planet. And it just means that we need to begin to own our false creations. And that's not always going to be easy. We will have to make different choices, and we will be guided to do that, and it's step by step. We never get given more than we can handle. But at the same time, this is here now for all of us who have said, I'm on board for the new Earth. I'm taking an active role in this plan. So you have basically on a soul level said yes to that. So this is what's occurring. Now the easiest, not easy, but easiest way is to be in loving acceptance with whatever comes up and occurs, which is not always something that we can do instantly, but we will be guided, we will be remembering the tools. Yet, because this is now anchored, it will be so much easier for those of us who come next. We've had the forerunners establishing the hand grips, or the handles, if you want to call it like that. And everyone who now decides to wake up, which is on a higher level, guided to each soul, there will be moments where we will have a possibility of that happening. The minute they anchor in New Earth, it is a scripted, to a certain extent, new version where a lot of the hard work has been done, collectively speaking, and then it's up to each individual to clear their personal karma, their soul karma, and perhaps move into higher paths and clear their lineage karma, etc. So this is an amazing, momentous occasion. I am noticing in the men around me, the men who come to me for sessions, that they are waking up to finding their divine feminine within themselves. The idea of having the sacred marriage happening within. And this is such a beautiful event. We have waited for this for a long time, and we haven't got as many men yet who are on the path. There are quite a few of them, but in terms of numbers, there's a lot of women who have been doing the work initially. But I just want to say to all the beautiful brothers out there, thank you so much for holding that space so strongly with such a brave heart. Also really acknowledging the divine masculine within the sisterhood. And just feeling incredibly grateful for what we have established so far. And I wanted to share this with you. Thank you so much. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching this video. And I'll be keeping in touch. And I would love to hear from you if you want to share your stories with me. Thank you.